This is December 12th, 2022. This is the Multimedia SIG. We are here at the Camera Club, and right now we have 4 other people joining us via Zoom. So the only video that we have at this point is Arlene. Chuck, did you have anything, or Holly?
No, not today.
No. Chuck, did you have anything you wanted to share?
No videos.
Well, then we can get right to it. Arlene, do you want to go ahead and bring up your video?
Alrighty, so this is from the Amato Car Show, and this is from, so all these photos are taken from my old camera, the Sony, because the Lumix is still out of service. So I don't know how sharp they are on the big screen, but we'll see. So, okay, here we go. was awful. The transitions were horrible. And
But they weren't that way originally, right?
oh no,
They were nice and
No.
clean in your editor.
oh no, so it was flowing, it was, animation. I mean, but when I was looking, I thought, what the heck happened here?
Yeah, it's Zoom, I'm sure.
It's just the transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because when I did it, if you see it on Facebook, I mean, it's fine. Yeah,
Yeah, it was here. It was pretty bad.
it was pretty bad. Yeah, because when I was looking, I thought,
Arlene, the one thing that you did that I thought was really great, and it was the highlight for me, was the tight shot of the DeSoto hood ornament. I would have liked to seen more of those tight shots.
oh,
If
okay.
you look at what Kevin's done on these car shows, you see all the, the lights or whatever, but that, to me, the highlight of that whole film was that hood ornament. That thing was fantastic.
So you didn't like that animation in the beginning, but do you know how many hours that took me to do
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite, but
in After
that's your thing.
Effects? And yeah, that's my thing. Yeah, in After Effects. I mean, it took days to get that thing down. Yeah.
Really? Because you could have
Oh,
done
days.
that. You could have done that in the video editor in 2 minutes.
Days in After Effects.
Why?
Because to have it when it went around, because I wanted it to follow that particular pattern, that path. So then I
Yeah.
had to create that. Then the smoke coming out, and then having the smoke come out following that exact path. And it was a nightmare in After Effects. It was a nightmare. Yeah,
Huh? Because what's your editor?
it's Premiere Pro, CC.
Because in Premiere Pro, you could have done that with just motion quite simply, really easily.
How would I have done that?
Well, you got the cutout. You got it
Yeah.
probably, cut out on blue screen or green
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah,
And then you just use the motion editor, the sizing and just move it around the screen just with the mouse. And that would have been really easy.
wow. So I did it. the
After
hard
Effects,
way.
I can see why it took quite a long time in After
Oh,
Effects.
After Effects was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, something else for you to learn.
Yeah,
Maybe save you a lot of time.
yeah.
Arlene, I don't know if this was on your video or just the streaming and everything, but the music seemed to taper out early and you were cutting it out sooner than the
I
video.
think, yeah, the whole thing was screwed up because, if you go to Facebook, it should be okay, but no, this was lousy.
Okay, speaking of that, please send this over to Kevin, so he will put your version in the
Okay.
in the YouTube video, that'll go on for the SIG.
Okay.
Yeah. There
And
was
most
one
of the
set of,
problem is just latency in the transmission. I mean, I could tell that, it wasn't that way originally.
No.
there was one set of music that I really liked that had the beat. It almost felt like a Beach Boys type of a beat. The others were maybe not so car showy, but that one was. And I think you probably could have found an sound effect for the motorcycle, as opposed to just there were probably several car sound effects that you could have put in to vary the one from the room.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So when we heard those sound effects here, some of them were at different audio levels than other ones. Is that how your original is?
You know
It
what?
sounded like when I think you had like someone trying to start the car. You had like two of those clips.
It's possible. I don't know. I don't know, because I just, I get them off of Pixabay,
Yeah.
and however they come across is what I use. Well, sometimes I cut out things, but most of the time I'll just use it as is.
For me, the first sound effect you used of starting the car, I wasn't sure if that was a sound effect or just some noise from somewhere else. and everything.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell. The second one was more obvious, but the second one, the volume was higher on it also. So you should be able to adjust the volume on those clips.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how. Do you mix those tracks in Premiere, or how did you do your sound?
Everything is in Premiere.
Okay,
Yeah, I do everything
You
in
can
Premiere.
certainly control that in Premiere.
Yeah, and I do, but I guess with my version, to me, it sounded okay. I mean, I don't know.
Well, sometimes it's really hard to judge when, there's latency issues and the transmission problems just amplify any problems that you have on your end. But I think when Kevin gets this, we could look at it on YouTube or wherever it's played back, and it'd probably be better.
So Pixabay, I just get graphics from them, but obviously there's more stuff.
Yeah. I get sound effects and music. That's about it. Sound effects and music.
And music.
Yeah.
Okay, I will double check them. So my observation from here, and I don't know what you were seeing in the room, but the small little window next to the share window was just Arlene, because she was the one sharing. So I'm thinking that, Todd, if it was your laptop sharing stuff at the showtime, then it would have been your laptop's camera that was there, which is what you were talking about. Right?
Yeah, but it didn't show on my screen.
Right. Now, I don't know what Arlene's showed, but for me just now, since Arlene was doing the sharing, hers was the only window right by it that was there. And I think I remember from other things I've logged in with, like Chuck was sharing and his was the only picture right beside the share. So it's the person who's doing the sharing's camera that's showing.
Well,
Does that
I
make
think
sense?
Chuck, you were doing the sharing, correct? Because you were running the videos.
Yes, I was, correct.
From your home and everything, so.
Yep.
So that's not it.
I just had mine connected in to the overhead camera to view, to project it up onto the screen.
Right. Okay, never mind.
No, that's okay. I mean,
Was a thought.
we're just trying to figure this out, and we have a speaker series coming up on Thursday that I'm setting up the camera in that over in the Ansel room. Now, Sandy will be the one who is going to be the speaker and everything. And I think Phil is hosting it, but he's doing it from home.
Bizarre.
Okay.
So
Now, when Arlene was sharing her program, let's see, in the upper right, it showed me and Grace and I don't know, Camera Club. There's an option to shrink it there,
Right.
like the dash line, so you can do that. It gets rid of most of what you would normally see.
yeah, I mean, I did that here. I shrunk that and then just moved it all the way up into the right-hand corner.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anywhere in the image, in the
It's a
video.
little bit less annoying that way.
Yeah.
Right. And I had mine set on speaker view. But I'm seeing all of you across the top as the way I'm seeing you.
Okay.
Right now, yes.
Yeah.
But when you go to share screen, I think it moves it to the side.
Right. There's one that says hide self view. Interesting.
So who enabled closed captioning? I see a message.
Well, I clicked on
Grace
it.
did, but then she stopped.
But I turned it off, I thought, because I'm not seeing it.
I don't see it.
Okay.
Is
So
it still
you
on
can
yours,
turn
Chuck?
your own off.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it. Gone.
Gone. Yeah.
One of the things that we could do in these Zoom meetings that may be helpful from a packet standpoint, transmission standpoint, is have the people who are remote turn themselves off when
Right,
we're
I
showing
forgot.
videos. If they turn themselves off, then the system doesn't have to run all those packets with all those live pictures. And there may be a little more bandwidth there for the transmission.
And-
If-
Yeah,
that's-
when, with the speaker series, we have asked them to do that and it did go better than today is going.
Right. And actually in the
Say it
setup.
did or
when you-
didn't?
It
Yeah.
did,
Did, okay.
yeah.
And when you set up the meeting, you can set it with the participants' video and audio off. So they come in and everything's off. They're never
Right.
shown.
Yeah,
Now,
no, I think it's
theoretically, it
Phil
should
that would
help,
do
but
that, right?
Hard to say.
Grace?
The person who sets up the meeting.
That,
It-
but by Zoom,
Yeah, the Zoom meeting.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that would be Phil and that's how he normally does that.
Yeah.
So Phil will set that up on Thursday.
Right.
So it won't be Sandy as the speaker, it'll be Phil.
What about Sandy as the speaker?
Well, Sandy's gonna be the speaker. He's gonna be there with his laptop and sharing.
Yeah,
the
now
screen.
Sandy just called me and he, at this point, still intends to be there, but he does want to have a good distance between him and the audience and probably will wear a mask when he's not speaking.
Okay,
And I'm going to ask at the board meeting this afternoon if we can have disposable masks available for anybody when they come in and have the chairs widely spaced. Because apparently for some people, the immune issues are still looming.
And even for those who aren't immune issues, that's still looming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What
That
I
is.
guess this new virus that's pretty predominant. Actually, I caught it when I was out there in October. I guess that's kind of reminded people that we're not in the clear yet.
So what time is the speaker series, Thursday?
1 o'clock.
One?
What?
Not
Is it
one.
1 o'clock?
No, it's at 2:00. 1:30 is set up and 2:00 we start. So
Good.
Todd, we need you there at 1:30
No,
to
I'm
set
gonna be
up
there before
equipment. and
1:30.
Phil will get online with
I've
us.
gotta
and
set up the
make sure everything
projector.
works.
I have to make sure this projector, everything's all set up, the speakers.
Right,
Remind everybody what time zone that is.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mountain Standard Time.
Mountain Standard.
yeah. For me, it's 1 o'clock and I don't know if I can be there. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Okay,
Okay.
Todd, we're ready for your dance act now.
Yeah. You know, do my dance act and everything. Yeah,
Todd, next time you turn, or even now, if you would swing around on the table, we could see you each, actually.
Oh, on
Yeah,
the other hand,
yeah. Not
on the
just
other
this
hand, who
embodied
wants to
hand.
see him?
there we go. We had the camera tipped up a little, even catch Doug in the background, or can you see Doug back there?
Yes, I
Doug
can.
and Jim, yeah, okay, we can see him. Yeah, yeah. So does anybody use any video clips from an online service to put in their videos?
Seems to me like Gene does quite a bit of that.
Gene does it all every day, I think.
Other from other services? I know he's
Well,
done things
just
from,
download from YouTube.
he does download from
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah, all his stuff is, I don't think he shoots much. He just downloads stuff and piles it together.
So I was trying to find, I looked on, so in YouTube Studio, they have music and sound effects, but I didn't see anything there that was video that you could download and use.
Well, you can download anything. Forget the copyright issues.
Okay,
Because you can download anything from
Yeah.
YouTube or anything that you can get on the internet. You can download it. Whether you can use it legally is another matter.
No, no.
No, I was been looking for a clip to use, but I haven't found the right one yet. But I've tried several different services that offer free, clips, but none that had what I want or what I have in mind.
You're treading on uncharted legal grounds on all these things. So, that's another issue. But you could, if you have the right program, I'm assuming you have a downloader of some sort.
Yeah.
I do. You can get anything. You just take anything.
Okay. Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. Anyone working on any projects? Chuck, I know we need to start gathering videos for Showtime in January.
Yeah,
Have
I
any
have to check. I'll have to check my inventory. I think I have enough.
Okay,
I do have something I'd like to share.
sure, go ahead.
When now? Okay. Now, this is a test. I am going to show you two versions of Kevin's Gulliver House, okay? And I won't show you the whole thing. It's about, 2 minutes long. We'll just show a little bit. And then at the end of these showings, I have a question. So I need to be, share screen is down at the bottom. Usually it's up at the top.
It'll move to the top.
You still with us, Doug? I'm here.
Okay, first I am going to show you Gulliver 1, okay? Not the whole thing, just maybe 30 seconds or so. Okay, that was Gulliver 1. Now I am about to show you Gulliver 2. And at the end of showing Gulliver 2, there will be a quiz. So you do want to watch carefully. That was Gulliver 2.
So Chuck, is this like when you go to the eye doctor and they say, does this look better? And then they flip it over, or does this look better?
Could be. Now, one of those videos is 350 megabytes. One of those videos is 42 megabytes, a factor of about 8. Which is which? All those all those that think that Gulliver 1 is 350 megabytes, raise your hand.
Hey, Chuck, I think the problem is in transmission. If we were playing that from a thumb drive in here, we could probably make that determination. But transmitting it over the internet like this, it's very difficult to tell.
Well, that's not the only reason. It's difficult to tell.
They look the same.
I couldn't
Say
tell
they
the
look-
difference.
Do you think they
Neither
look?
could I.
The Jim thinks they look the same.
The second one was much better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
You get
The
off your
second
laptop
one,
or off a bad
the
screen.
second one is 350 megabytes. The first one was 42 megabytes.
Now, this is actually, it's unfair because Chuck and I did this test when we were at Desert Hills. So I did see them with the thumb drive there at Desert Hills, and we saw the same problem. In fact, mostly what we saw, because we were watching Royce's video,
Yeah, I'll comment
watching
on that.
Royce's video, and where it really got to be a problem is in the narration, that it was way off the audio and.
So
the
here's the
actual
comparison
video.
between the 42, this is the 42 megabyte one. This is the 350 megabyte one. Of course, it's zoomed in by quite a large factor.
Yeah.
And you can tell that there is some degradation of the image on the left. And that's the lower. But I've been, for Zoom, I often get programs that are huge, like 5-6 gigabytes. And I do a little bit with Premiere Elements, and it tends to provide very large files. In fact, if you take like an MP4 and import it into Premiere Elements just to make some minor changes and then save it again, it's going to be 2 to 3 times as big as you started with. So in some cases, I will take Showtime videos and run them through a converter, which makes them quite a bit less. I think for viewing the video, you're not going to see a big difference. As Todd pointed out, we did have some difficulty with that grandkid one from Royce, but Todd, I ran that through again and it came out perfect. So I don't know what was wrong. I don't know what was, maybe it's just a glitch or something the first time around, but I tried it again and the audio and the lips were synced together so that you couldn't tell any difference. But anyway.
Well, that could have been the Wi-Fi there at Desert Hills also. 'Cause
Yeah.
you had your laptop set up,
yeah, that
going
could
through the
have been.
Wi-Fi there.
That could have been, yeah. But just, for those that end up with large files that want to make them a little bit smaller for sending to someone else, or just to save some space on your computer hard drive, there are several applications that will allow you to reduce the file size without any real apparent degradation in the quality.
What do you use?
I use, okay, let's go. I use a few different things. And I have, what I am using right now is this.
You have to tell us what it is because I can't see it.
You can't see it.
No, it's not big enough.
AVS4U. AVS4, that's the number 4, YOU. Oh, here we go, video. Yeah, it's called AVS Video Converter.
Hey, Chuck.
And you can see it over here. Let me just
The
open
problem
it
you
up.
have is that it depends how the person set up the rendering of their final product. So in almost all of these editors, it depends on how you set the parameters for rendering the original video. You can get the file size down to practically nothing by choking it when you render it. So it's
Yeah,
what they
with
did
Premiere,
originally without having to go through a compression program, which is essentially going to degrade everything.
Well, I just use Premiere Elements a little bit. There's like a 3 choices there, low, medium, and high, or something like that.
So I don't know elements, so it doesn't allow you to do all the other settings like you do in the big programs?
I don't
I
believe
don't
so.
know, I don't use it.
I think it does, but I haven't used Elements for a while since I switched to DaVinci.
Yeah, okay.
File size is dependent on how you set it up. If there's a general setting for make this the best quality there is,
Yeah.
it is just, it's going to get rid of the third frames and do all kinds of things that's going to expand that file. So it's however they built it originally,
Hmm.
but I don't know Premiere Elements, so
Yeah.
you know
Well, of
more.
course, when I get something for Showtime, I'm not able to go back to the application that produced that.
And the problem for you is the file is so big that it chokes in playback or something? Why are you?
No. I just don't like files that are 10 gigabytes when they could be 1 gigabyte.
But oh, whatever. That's a philosophical discussion.
Sure, okay. That's all I have.
Well, I know in DaVinci, there's, when you click the box for render, I mean, a whole list of different options.
Or export.
Yeah,
Okay,
comes up in that. So, and I think it was in Elements too, when I used to use that, but it's been now a couple of years since I switched over to it. But that's certainly a possibility or a suggestion that can be passed out to people submitting videos.
Todd, DaVinci also has that setting where you push for YouTube. If you want to set it up to YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
so,
Yeah, that's on DaVinci. On DaVinci, right? Yeah.
Like Phil says, there's all kinds of.
I guess I'm trying to figure out Chuck's objection to large files, if it's a matter of playback, or you just don't like to have big files.
no real objection. This was just a point of interest.
No, it's a good one. I'm just trying to figure out what your source of displeasure with larger files.
Well, here was one thing. I've been doing Showtime for, oh man, maybe 11 or 12 years. And I have a folder in my documents called Showtime. It is maybe 120 gigabytes because I have saved everything.
But can't you just save those on an external?
I could.
You still have them? Yeah.
Or put them in the cloud?
that.
So it's for you, it's a storage issue. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to figure out.
yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And it's not a big issue, just,
So here's something else I uncovered the other day, and that is when we were getting set up for Showtime, originally the podium's right there in the middle. And I said to Phil, I said, well, that doesn't make sense for me standing right in the middle of the audience and everything. I want to be out of the way. So we needed a HDMI cable. So I got online and started looking for HDMI cables. And fortunately, we at the club, we have a 25 footer, which I used, which 50 foot is the maximum you're supposed to have before you have to have a booster. Apparently, we have a 100-foot one here that does have a booster to it and everything. But of course, anytime you Google something, all of a sudden you start getting, things over Google about HDMI cables, and the newer TVs have it's a HDMI 2.1 cable that you will need to use as opposed to what we're using right now. So anyone looking at any new TVs, if you have an HDMI connection and everything, it may not be as smooth or work the way that we have right now.
Well, one of the things with HDMI is that even at 50 feet, without a booster or with it, you have a sound latency issue. So the sound gets out of sync automatically.
Oh,
So then you have, generally what you have to do is have a delay on your audio, have a delay box. And the club has one, and we've used it before. When you get into long connections with HDMI, the sound gets out of sync very easily.
okay.
It's the video that's retarded, isn't it? Not the audio.
Yes, what happens is the sound is ahead of the video just because the way, the packets are transmitted and packet checking and all that. So you have to delay your analog audio going into the system in order to get it back into lip sync. Yeah, that's a big, big problem. And that may be of what you ran into with Royce's video. I don't know.
Well, when we tested, when we were getting set up at Desert Hills, we only had a short cable right then, because this podium was still right next to the connector. It was only a few feet long.
It could still be an issue.
Oh, can be?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, when what we noticed with the two different files that Chuck had, the smaller file and the larger file played fine. So the audio and video were in sync, but on the condensed file, that wasn't the case.
That makes sense.
And that
So
was
just a few. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that was a function of the cable? For the two Gulliver's houses?
No.
No.
Chuck,
Yeah,
the two different videos. One was a condensed one, right?
Yeah.
How many? What was the size of it?
42,
And the other was
350.
so just less data coming over to show the video.
Well, yeah, I guess. Now, Phil was asking why. Kevin will run some of his stuff through an app to reduce the size, to send them to his customers at Caterpillar.
We transfer.
Well, some of the files are larger. Well, Kevin pays for it, so I guess the file can be any size.
Well,
But
I think he was reducing them in size only for the customer or the convenience of the customer.
To send it to them.
Yeah, because of transfer time, even with WeTransfer, that's why it's reducing the file size. It's actually a thing called compression, and it's eliminating frames and other things out of the picture. And it's because it just takes so long to transmit these huge files.
We did have Phil told Chuck and I about another file transfer service that you can do large ones, because we is limited to 2 gigabytes.
Well, free.
Free, yes.
Free, yeah.
Kevin buys, doesn't he buy?
Yeah, he buys his.
Service.
Yeah. But Phil Rock told Chuck and I about another one that we actually tested there at Desert Hills, and was able to send the entire Showtime file, the big one, over to Phil, and it's free.
It's free up to 5 gigabytes.
Do you remember the name of it, or do you have that?
Well, I'm gonna look for it right now. I bookmarked it.
Was it file mail?
Yeah, it is.
File
That's the
mail,
name of it.
yeah. He had me use that too. Work good.
Ollie, say again, file mail.
File mail.
Can you spell
.com.
FILEMAIL. Read my lips.
Todd just wanted to see if you could spell, that's all.
Well, it certainly worked when we tried to send it over to Phil. So anyone that wants or needs to send larger files, that service is free. Up to what you said, Chuck, 5 gigabytes.
Here is file mail. Okay,
Well, it's free.
Yeah, it's very
Filemail.com.
blurry to me.
It says any size, but it doesn't mean it.
well,
With a subscription.
I
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
yeah.
somewhere I saw it was free up to 5 gigabytes.
It says that, yeah, share files up to 5 free using email or secure link.
Okay,
Yeah. Good to
Does
know.
anyone have anything else they want to share? Any questions?
Mm.
No projects? Doug, you working on any projects?
Oh, did anybody go to one of the events at the Desert Hills? In person?
Which event?
Any event?
Like
I
Showtime?
mean, like Showtime
Showtime would work?
had 40
Yes.
people there.
Yeah, but you weren't there, right?
I was there.
Oh, Todd, so how was it as far as, was there any expressed nervousness about COVID or people wearing masks or what?
No one said anything. I mean, people came, they signed into the sign-in sheet. I think most people did. I reminded people to do that. So, because GVR keeps a list of the
Right,
number of attendees and everything.
okay,
But no one was asking for masks and no one said anything. It certainly, Chuck and Phil, and I think Danny and I had a little bit of discussion prior to it, because on the news here in Tucson, they've been talking about Pima County is on an increased level of the COVID, the flu, the other
yeah,
thing that's
whatever,
going around, whatever it is.
right.
and
Okay,
everything, but
thanks. I
no.
just wondered because it came up today about Showtime, so,
Yeah. Nope, no one.
okay,
If
good.
anyone was
Well,
concerned about it, they didn't show anything, but with that said, people really spread out throughout the auditorium.
Right.
If couples sat together, but other than that, there would be 2 or 3 seats between.
Okay,
The majority
good.
of
Yeah,
people. And
that's
people
helpful to me.
people just did that on their own,
Okay, thank you. That's helpful to me. So I
and
will
so
have-
for the speaker series, I mean, when I can talk to the maintenance people about pushing back that, first couple rows,
Right,
so they're not, half dozen feet away from Sandy.
good. Yeah, that would be good because he is one who's nervous.
Well,
so.
he got COVID really bad this year.
I don't blame him for being nervous. I'm just
So
saying
he-
he's one.
Yeah.
And
he
I
was-
think his wife isn't, she's gonna just Zoom. So, okay,
Yep, but no, it was, I think what Chuck, we had 38 people that signed in. Kevin thinks there were about 45 people there.
Really? Great. And we
But-
had 22 Zoomers.
Yeah. So.
That's
pretty good.
very encouraging to have the attendance that high.
Yes,
yeah, I hope I get that money for speakers series.
right. Right.
Well, when we were doing the Zoom in, the old way, we used to run like 70 or 80 people. And last week we were actually pretty close to that.
Oh, that's great. Good. Yeah, that's right, you did. Okay, bye, everybody. I gotta go get ready for my next Zoom. I want to have a bite of lunch.
All right,
you
thanks.
Have a
Colby.
happy holiday, everyone.
Yeah, you too. I mean,
Okay.
unless anyone else has anything, we'll wrap it up. So thank everyone for attending. And, I'm not Kevin, but at least we were able to pull this off. We had Phil.
Right. And your new member.
And John,
Yes.
What's your
John.
name? John?
Yeah.
Nice to meet
It
you,
was,
John.
the success was all due to me. I kept my mouth shut.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
done videos before, John?
Yeah, I was a professional videographer.
Oh, excellent. All right,
Who did you work for?
great. Well, then you'll be teaching us.
Hmm.
All right, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.